to the Associations presented by Caesar Sportsbook. I'm MJ Acosta-Ruiz, and here he is, 2016 NBA champ, Tristan Thompson.
Big
and
dog.
11-year NBA veteran, Darren Collison.
Big bad DC, man.
Driver, we know. The future in F1. All right, what's your instant reaction from this blowout win for the Lakers, Tristan?
I mean, the Lakers needed this like old people need soft shoes because, listen, you got that OG, Bron. The longer he plays, those puppies going to get a little heavy. Like
Arch support.
Yeah, Arch, yeah. What's called Dr. Scholes, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, they took care of business. I know they probably wanted to do it on their home court, but now you got Oklahoma City. Congratulations.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm with Tristan. I mean, LeBron, I think, he's like 41 and 13 in closeout games. Right now, 42. But, I mean, you just knew he wasn't going to let his team down.
Right.
I mean, he was going to come to play, and he showed, and he rubbed on everybody else.
Yeah, everybody stepped up as well, and it helped that the Rockets just looked gassed. Like they were done with the series. It was just too much for them. Let's get to the highlights, see how it all unfolded over in Houston tonight. LeBron James and the Lakers just one win away from advanced 98-78. They move on. Playoffs end for Houston. LeBron set the tone early and finished with 28, 8, and 7 in 37 minutes of work. Rui Hachimura had 21 and made 5 three-pointers. Meantime, Austin Reeves chipped in 15 in his second game back from injury. The Lakers held Houston to just 18% from three-point range. All right, so what did we learn about the Lakers in round one, DC?
That LeBron's on a mission. You know, it's that simple.
That's what did we learn about LeBron? But go on, I'll allow it.
Right. I mean, look, even in his closeout games, he's averaging 29, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and he was just about to touch that tonight, right? I mean, if you watch that game, you couldn't tell me who's the youngest player on the court by just his ability to go downhill, transition. I mean, he's everywhere defensively. He's cutting. I mean, this guy is on a mission. He really has the ambition of trying to lead his team, and he did that this series.
Yeah, no, but for me, I think it's Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard, right? The fact that they were able to get, especially with Reeves out, they had an opportunity to get the ball in their hands more. You know, all season they kind of took a backseat role and let Luka, Reeves, and Bron do their thing, but them coming out and, Smart averaging 16 in the playoffs, hasn't done those numbers since Boston. So I think it's going to be important for those guys, especially they have the rhythm for the next round against OKC. Yeah,
and I'm with you, TT, because the fact that Luke and AR were out for a little bit, it did kind of elevated Marcus Smart, DeAndre, and even Rui's game a little bit to go on to next series. And they're, like you said, they're going to need their confidence moving forward.
No question. Every bit of it, too, as Luka still remains sort of week to week, not close to really being into that contact activity. But in the absence of AR and Luka throughout this series, Rui really stepped up. Hachimura just finishing the series shooting 59% from three. How pivotal was he for the Lakers in round one, Tristan?
I mean, he was huge. I remember when I was with the Lakers a couple of years ago when Rui played very well against Memphis, right? He was making threes. He was an X factor. And to be honest, against OKC, he's going to be the one guy that could kind of be a mismatch problem, right? He's 6'9", he plays big. If he's able to make shots and, like you said, get to the mid-range, he's kind of that glue guy that could kind of ignite their offense, right? So if he's making threes, it's going to open the floor up so much for Ayton, Bron, and AR.
Yeah, I think when you look at every playoff series, the number one option is going to get so much attention, and LeBron's going to get that against OKC. And then the second one in line probably going to be Austin Reeves. But to your point, it's going to be Rui. Rui's going to have to be that one that's going to step up and get the hidden 15 to 20 points out of nowhere to help them win.
To that end, of course, we didn't see, unfortunately, KD. We'll talk about him in a second, but we did have a more efficient game for Austin Reeves on the heels of that 4 for 16 shooting performance in Game 5. What are your expectations for him really heading into round two? I believe there was that oblique that he was dealing with, DC.
I mean, it's going to be a lot on his shoulders, right? This is the playoffs. Nobody wants to hear, you being hurt. And I'm sure he understands that too. Austin Reeves is a guy that can get you 20 to 30 points. When Luka and LeBron was out in the beginning of the season, he was a guy that stepped up to lead the Lakers for victory. So it's going to be the same thing. If it's not LeBron, it's going to be him, and he has a tough task ahead of him.
Tough task, because the thing about OKC is that, one thing about the Lakers, we all know they can score with the best of them.
Right.
It's the defensive end. And one thing OKC, they're going to go pick out those matchups. So, for AR, he's going to have, his work cut out for him. But like you said, he's been able to step up when his number's called to be a number one option. And, obviously all the attention will be on Bron, but he'll be very crucial for them to try to win a game.
Okay, let's head to the podium now where we have Coach Ime Udoka at the mic.
This could be good.
Coach, I know over the last 2 games, you guys have built some fire and some speed going into this game, but just talk about the emotions following what was a pretty poor shooting performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's disappointed, no doubt. Not what we expected, coming into the game tonight or the series in general. We all thought we'd be taking it back for Game 7. But to your point, tough night for a lot of guys. Shoot 35% and only score 78. You're obviously not going to win, even if you defend the way we did, which is giving up 98 and them shooting only 40% on any average night. Obviously, it was a comfortable win, but feel like that really hurt us in the 3 games outside of Game 3. Shooting, I think, 36% first game, 40.5% Game 2, and then 35% tonight. So those are hard to overcome, and it's tough when a lot of guys are struggling like that. We need somebody to step up there, and one or 2 guys to kind of stem the tide.
Ime, as much as you're willing to share, what was your message to the guys post-game in the locker room just now?
Yeah, we're disappointed, and it feels like 2 years in a row in the playoffs, kind of getting behind the 8 ball a little bit, how we can avoid some of those things, but also proud of them for fighting back down 3-0, and like I said, the expectation was to come out tonight and obviously play a better game and take it back to LA. So we're all disappointed as far as that, but minus some injury, non-luck for us. I think a lot of guys showed tremendous growth this year, and even in this playoff series alone. And so that was part of it. Stayed the course. We all got steps to take, and a lot of them did that this year, but ultimately didn't meet our expectation.
Just from your perspective, why do you think it was such a struggle to put points on the board tonight?
I mean, they switched a little bit more. We didn't create any advantages behind it. Got a little stagnant at times, but then we didn't offensive rebound. We didn't play with pace. All the things that we did in the last 2 games to kind of get advantages. But when they did get to go to some switching, had some decent shots. I felt like we missed some opportunities when we got to the paint and missed some passes, made some good injuries that happened, and even with that, we feel we could have had a better season in general and playoff series. So, Fred going down is what it is. We were going to go with our young guys and watch them develop, take some lumps with it, but felt we could have still done better than 52. A lot of end of game situations that we could have cleaned up and obviously have a better record there. Steven goes down. That's a tough one for a lot of reasons. He's very unique in what he does, and definitely no fall off when he comes in, and then Kevin obviously late, and so it's almost like losing a point guard is one thing, losing the big is one thing. We could probably absorb a wing better, with our depth there, and just lost 2 really unique guys for what they do for our team. But with that being said, we still had an expectation to move on and still finish better than we did.
Coach, as a follow-up to that, can you speak to, and I know the season just ended, but where you saw the growth from your young players the most? I mean, does anything stick out? You say, despite all those things you just named, what was the positives? Yeah,
I mean, having really big moments throughout the season for us. We could point out a lot of guys. Reed and Amen specifically handling the point guard duties and understanding that and dealing with the pressure and finding that balance of, getting us into stuff, when to score, when to facilitate. So they had to learn on the fly, 2 guys that really didn't play that position much at all in the past. And so that's there. Jabari obviously showed tremendous growth. Alperin being an all-star again. And, Tari through the ups and downs. Guys played through some slumps and came out on the other side. And so, we'd like the balance and another step to be taken across the board, I think. And I think you saw it in the playoffs. That kind of happened right in front of our eyes. But, consistency is the biggest key, especially with young guys. And you have some poor starts like in this series, and you have really good games, and then end it on a game like tonight. And that's just some of the ups and downs with it and consistency.
Did tonight kind of illustrate how impactful Kevin's absence was and why you even got him in the first place?
Yeah, no doubt. It's nights like this where guys are struggling, and, you want a 25, 26-point scorer on the efficiency and the way he does it. And to avoid some of these nights when other guys are struggling. So, when myself and the coaches said that, these are the nights you have them for when other guys are kind of going through it. And throughout the season, you kind of carried us on nights like this, poor shooting nights, and until other guys got it going. And it was definitely evident tonight.
Obviously, another tough night for Reed. What are you hoping he kind of takes away from his first playoff experiences and the lessons you want him to go into the summer with?
Yeah, that teams are going to scheme and game plan for you, and put defenders on you in different different schemes and size on you. And when you have a good game or good series, the way he's been scoring lately, obviously they're going to plan for that, and you have to obviously understand how to attack it, understand the teams are going to do it, and it's going to be adjustments throughout the series. And so, but through the season though, that's been the case. When he comes into games, teams guard him a specific way with some of their best defenders, and so he kind of garners that attention, and something he has to continue to build and grow from, because teams are going to go after him quite often.
Coach, in terms of the connection between you, the front office, and ownership, it feels like that's been a strong point over the last 2 seasons. How would you assess how you guys, trying to move past this point in terms of conversations, additions, stuff like that?
Yeah, take an overall look at the group, areas of improvement, no doubt. And you're not just hoping, honestly, Fred and Steven come back, and you never know how injuries guys come back. So it's not like we're just basing everything on them coming back. We still, as I've always said, want our young guys to grow and take steps, and I think they did that this year, and they'll definitely come back better next year. But do need to address some needs, the lack of shooting at times. Whether it's a backup point guard or our young guys did enough this year to kind of run that with Fred back, and so take a look at all those things. I think have some very interesting conversations on having a little bit of more mix instead of some duplicates out there.
And Coach, with that being said,
JJ, on a night with just so many different contributions from so many places in the roster and holding them to 78 points, is there something that stands out to you the most, or is it kind of the collective?
I would start with the collective. And I remember there was a press conference that we did after one of our games during our 16-2 stretch, and you guys were like really hammering home a point about a specific player, and I honestly can't remember who the player was. And I made the comment, I said the reason our team is winning is because of our team, because each guy is starring in his role and contributing to winning. And that's the story of this playoff series for us, where each guy had moments that helped us win the game. I thought the collective tonight was awesome, especially defensively. And Jackson and DA, with the adjustment we made going into Game 5, made a small tweak to some Şengün stuff this morning. Those guys were just phenomenal defensively and really did a great job of protecting the rim. Second point I would make is just how important leadership is. And